a crush on right now.
You what?
I am such a fan of yours.
Oh, right on.
I
love it.
The crush and the
Come
private
on.
parts. Oh yeah.
Come on.
Oh yeah.
That's so nice.
This is, I was 21 years old when that movie came out. I was like, wow.
The movie wife.
Wow.
He's so nice to me, and he still says how hot my tits are every week, which is so great.
It's got to be nice,
Listen, I'm 38. I'll take it.
I even brought the movie to for you to sign, but my girlfriend then took it out of my suitcase. She's like, you've been talking about married for a week.
That's hilarious.
We went and saw the movie together. And I'm like, she's so hot. And then you're like dripping, coughing. And,
I know. Less hot.
Less hot. Just like,
hot in a different way.
How do you prep, how do you feel like when you're acting, you're dying? How hard is that?
Hard. Horrible. I mean, it was a horrible shoot. It was like, because normally I imagine things, the fortunate way that I had to imagine my daughter dying and stuff. I mean, but often my roles, the leap is less. I still have to imagine myself in fake circumstances, but I don't have to do that. And it was 18 days, or I guess Chris said it was 19 days of just hell, I mean, I remember looking at the schedule of the day I was dragged away by the soldiers when we shot that scene, and I remember thinking, like, sweet, this is an easy day. And that's so messed up, because that's a horrible scene, like horrifying. And I just remember thinking, it's so much easier to do that scene than saying goodbye to my family or saying goodbye to him, or the really horrible coughing up blood, knowing I'm dying, or the scene where he tells me it's sort of futile for you to fight.
Yeah.
There's just it's like it was one after the other. I mean, the two of us we were like zombies by the end of it.
You a smoker?
No, but I was.
Because that cough was...
Well, there was a lot of ash.
So that was kind of leaving like...
Yeah, there was a lot of ash. I mean, they were like... It's so funny because they said... they were like, it's paper, it's environmentally... And I'm sure it was, and I'm sure it's all safe and everything. But it was sort of interesting because I coughed for like a month after, and I would come home and cough for days because I was out in it. No one else was really had to sit in it. They would just pour it all over my head and everywhere. But sort of the first day, you'd see some people with bandanas on, in the crew. And then, as the week went on, you'd see masks. And then, like painter's masks. And then, more serious painter's masks. And then by the end, one guy had on one of those. Yeah. For real. I was like, come on, how do I get one of those?
That makes you feel good.
I was like, this is not very encouraging.
Yeah, keep pumping it on. Do you think your character was trying to kill her husband? Or do you think she was just scared? Or?
Yeah, no, I think initially she doesn't know that she's covered in toxic ash, I mean, she's like a zombie but doesn't know it. She didn't know that she was dangerous. So I think the initial approach to the house is just, get me away from that. Let's be together and just get me into safety. And then after he tells her, it's panic. And so, her reaction is like, let me get in the shower, let me get inside, what the fuck are you doing? And then, but it was a tricky journey, all that, because there were so many different stages of sort of what she wanted, and then finally she settles into acceptance, and then a realization that she doesn't want to kill him. She'd rather, if she's dying, she'd rather not bring him along.
How challenging throughout your film career was this movie?
Maybe the most emotionally, definitely the most emotionally. Yeah, maybe the most. I mean, it was every day I was terrified. I remember feeling nauseous the night before it started just because I thought, I can't do it. You never know. And I thought, what if I just can't fake that? So I brought, my husband is, I call him Dr. Death because he can always find really sad stuff. He'll be like, honey, read this New Yorker piece. And I read it and I'm like, and he'll play a song. He's like, oh, listen to this beautiful song. He thinks it's all beautiful. He's listen to this beautiful song, and I end up weeping, or article in the paper or whatever it is. So he made me some, I call them Dr. Death CDs. I brought those along and would just, get in my own head when they were getting this shot ready and go to the land of Dr. Death.
Do you ever question yourself in terms of you and Rory are basically this movie. There's a few other minor characters, but you ever sit there and be like, oh my God, I can't do this, or you ever, you're confident, or?
No, I'm never confident. I mean, even when I see it, I think, I'd love to redo that, and so I don't watch it a lot because I will always want to redo it, So I'm rarely confident. I mean, I know when I'm acting, I believe it in the moment. that that's my job, you know, and that whatever happens, happens. And, you know, I'm never going to look the way I want to look, and it's never going to be perfect. And so you just try to be truthful, and, you know, I think you know as an actor when you're buying it.
Right.
You know,
and
circumstances.
And you did. You really seemed
thanks.
very...
It's horrifying.
Right.
It was horrifying. I mean, I was in New York for 9/11, so I had a little, it was certainly different than this. Oh my God, and our experience was nothing like many people's, but just even being there, we were in Midtown and smelling the ash and seeing the ash and the people running, you know, just having survived even that.
Well,
I had a sense of that.
I went to see this movie, and I get off at Penn Station, and there's people running and running.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm walking, and they're running and running, and they have that fear face. I'm like, what's going on? I go to Times Square, and it's steam coming out of the ground, and they had that steam pipe accident.
Oh,
I didn't know what it was.
No, you see people running, it's a whole different deal.
They didn't know. They didn't know if it was a terrorist attack. They didn't know if it was like... And I'm like, all right, let me go see this film about the Dickie Roberts.
How interesting.
And so I go in thinking, you know, I didn't hear anything. No one's calling. The circuits are busy. And I'm like, and then we finished the film, and it's just like, honey.
Should we go out? Should we leave the theater?
I wonder if New York's going to be like, right, everyone's like covered up, and, you know.
How interesting.
So it was a nice...
That's weird.
Precursor to the film.
Yeah, but that's how we live now. I mean, now you see people running, and you have a different, you know, if you'd seen that 5 years ago, or I guess now 6 years ago, whatever it is, you would just think like, oh, there's, you know, someone famous down the street, or I don't know what you'd think like with people running. But now it's, we all live with that fear. I mean, I have things in my house now that I didn't have before 9/11, you know, antibiotics and duct tape and first aid kits, and I always have canned food and, you know, fresh water and baby formula in my car. And I mean, it's just a whole different way of living.
Do you think
Crazy.
This film's more applicable even now than it ever was, like
Yeah.
Chris wrote it?
Yeah, I think he wrote it before even Katrina.
He did. He said 2002.
Yeah, and that's really weirdly prescient, you know, to sort of have a sense that the government doesn't always have a plan, and that when push comes to shove, we're kind of in charge of each other and, you know, our little circle of people, and it's weird, spooky. But yeah, I think we all have a sense of that now, not just natural disasters, but enemy and, you know, terrorism. I mean, there's a lot to fear.
So what would you do? You have children.
Yeah.
And I have children. So, you know, I feel, well, how would you react if you yourself sealed yourself in with let's say with your children, and your husband came home? The same situation. What do you think you would do?
Well, I think that we discussed that actually, because if there's a kid, right, then it's an easy equation. This sort of equation is he stays out, and that's it. There's kids, period, right? I mean, he wouldn't want to come in, and you wouldn't want him to come in.
But the kids are home with mom.
Right, but am I in the house?
No, you're in the house, and the kids are with your mom, and he comes home, and the kids are safe. So what do you do then?
I think you still don't let him in because someone has to look after the kids, right? So that's what we discussed. I mean, I remember when we all got together, we were like, he thought a lot about having a kid. You know, why didn't we have kids? And if we did have a kid, it changed the whole movie, because there's no, you know, kids take away your rights sort of off yourself, they always say, and it's true. You can't. Once you have a kid, you have to do anything you can. One of you has to stick around.
The other thing I want to ask you was the phone. When you were talking on the phone, I guess, to your brother.
Mm-hmm.
You were actually talking to someone? Like
my brother.
It's actually him?
Yeah, who's an actor.
Because that's...
Great actor. Will McCormack.
He's in the movie. Is he?
He's on the phone.
Oh, so that's...
Yeah.
So, yeah,
but he's in many movies, and yeah.
So,
he's talented. But there was I guess they had someone to do that, and then I read it, and I thought, you know, I'm very close with my brother, and he's a super talented actor, so I thought I'd rather, you know, listen any workload that could be lightened and made more real. And Chris was really sweet about saying yes for that. So it helped me a lot.
You were you sold it.
Oh,
and
good.
that was the point that you really like, because it's near the end, and you talking to him and just kind of hanging up the phone. It was great.
Yeah, I mean, it was a tricky thing to sort of, when does she resign, you know, and come to terms with everything, and just she's so tired that it's almost peaceful. And I love that Chris, I mean, he's so talented visually, and Tom Richmond too, that it became beautiful almost, the ash and everything. I thought it was such a lovely way so the outside became more beautiful than the sweaty, dark inside.
So post-movie, what do you think? Do you think your character lived and went on for another day? And, you know,
I think so. I don't want to give away.
It's not really giving it away.
I don't know, is it?
It might be.
Yeah, it's a big twist.
It is a big twist, and Yeah, I don't want to give anything away either. But
No, because it's like the crying game.
or Usual Suspects is kind of up there with the same
Yeah,
thing.
yeah,
It's
they're
kind
good.
of very surprising. How do you think people react to that?
I remember when Usual Suspects came out in New York. I was living in New York then, and some smart ass, like NYU student, I saw it at 14th and 11th or whatever at that theater,
Okay.
had spray painted a banner out their window. It's like Kevin Spacey was Kaiser Soze.
You hadn't seen it yet?
No, and everyone was just in line buying tickets. I was like,
That's a dick move right there.
It was really nasty.
So maybe I'll take that out then. I don't want to give away.
Okay, good.
I don't want to give away
Good.
because again, it was just, yeah, that was just.